Good morning, students. We are today going to discuss how to determine the polarity of the magnetic field of a solenoid. Let us see. there are two rules to determine the polarity, and it is called clock rule. The rule says that if the current enters clockwise, then that end of the electromagnet will be south pole, and if the current enters anti-clockwise, the end of the magnet will be north pole. Okay, so if you consider this as an electromagnet, this is an electromagnet with the number of turns being made here with a copper wire, and we have connected it with a battery. So when you pass the current to it, this iron bar taken as the core will now behave like a magnet and will be called an electromagnet. Electromagnet. Now if you see the direction of the current, then you find that the direction of the current enters anti-clockwise at this end. So this end will be the north pole, so this end the south pole. So this way we can determine the north pole and the south pole by seeing to the direction of the entry of the current. This is called electromagnet because this iron bar has been made magnet with the help of the electric current. You can see this is the battery, okay, with which this wire has been connected to, and as we press the switch, the current begins to flow and it will now behave like an electromagnet. So this is called an electromagnet, but this electromagnet so made by taking iron bar will give you a temporary magnet. This is not a permanent magnet because this will behave like a magnet only till the current keeps on flowing through it. Because once the current stops and once the current does not flow, this will lose all its property of magnetism, and so we say that this becomes a temporary magnet. But in order to make a permanent magnet, this iron bar has to be replaced either with steel or with alnico. This steel or alnico becomes a permanent magnet once we flow the current through it, and this magnetic property does not lose even when we stop the current flowing. Remember, the material to be used in order to make a permanent magnet should be either steel or alnico. Alnico, you should know, is an alloy which is made from aluminium, nickel and cobalt. This is about the electromagnet. Let us now come to the strength of an electromagnet. How can we change it? That is, how can we increase the strength of the electromagnet? There are various factors by which we can do so. First is by increasing the amount of the current. When we increase the amount of the current flowing, we can also increase the strength of the electromagnet. Second way is to increase the number of turns. This number of turns, as you increase, you will find the power of the electromagnet or strength of the electromagnet also increases. So this is another way. Third way to increase the strength is to change the core of the material used. And with this core, right now it is made of iron. If you take some other material like steel or alnico, as I said, then that may also change the strength of the electromagnet. These are the three factors: Coming to the uses of electromagnet, we have number of uses of electromagnet. Like electromagnet can be used in electric motors, electric fans, in TVs. Then it can also be used in making electric bell. Then we have to remove iron from the scraps, to remove iron pieces from the wounds. All this can be done with the help of electromagnet. Here I have drawn one diagram of an electric bell. Let us see how does electric bell work. Because electric bell also has electromagnet in it. And these are the arrangements of electric bell. You can see there is U-shaped magnet taken, and we are going to magnetize it, or we can have the property of electromagnet by passing current to it through the switch, and the battery is connected. So when you press the switch on, the current flows into this and will make this U-shaped an electromagnet. And we have another part, like this is the hammer and this is the gong. When this hammer strikes the gong, sound is produced, and this is the sound what we hear when we press the switch of an electric bell. Now this is the armature, which is also connected to this part to complete the circuit. Let us now see how does it work. So when you press on the switch, and as the current goes into here, you know this becomes an electromagnet and will show its attractive property. So now this armature will be attracted towards the magnet, and as it comes towards the magnet, the hammer also moves to the left side where the gong is, and it will hit the gong. As it hits the gong, a sound is produced. But at the same time, when the hammer comes to the gong side to hit it, the connection is broken. As the connection breaks, let me name 1 and 2. The connection is broken between 1 and 2, and as a result, there is no more current flowing through this. That is, the current stops flowing. And as the current stops flowing, this does not remain anymore a magnet. As a result, it will lose its attractive property and the hammer will move towards the right side. It will go back to its position. Now when it goes back to the position, once again this 1 and 2 will get connected and will complete the circuit. So if the circuit is completed, the process will continue. That means again the current will flow and this electromagnet will attract the armature, where once again the hammer will come to the left side, will hit the gong and will produce sound. So this connection and this connection of the circuit keeps on changing, which keeps on producing sound on alternate basis. This is the work of an electric bell. So I hope it is clear, and next class we will see about the electromagnetic induction, which once again will be a very important topic for you, and your homework will be to learn about the construction, the working of an electric bell, the definition of electromagnet, uses of electromagnet, and also how to increase the strength of an electromagnet. These all are very important things. I hope it is clear in today's class. We will come back with a new topic in the next class. Thank you.